Hey folks, Matt from artoftheimage.com. As you know, I was pretty excited about the Panasonic FZ2500. In Canada, we would call that the FZ2500, but I know my American friends think I'm misspeaking. We call a Z a Z here. Anyways, the 2500 looks incredible and has, the features of a super high-end video camera. We're talking $10,000, $20,000 camera features in a camera that's only going to cost you a couple $1,000s or less. It's very groundbreaking, very revolutionary in that sense. Interestingly enough, DPREView has done their review of it. And I was interested when I was reading through this because I think there's 9 criticisms, because they always do their summary with their pros and their cons, and there's 9 criticisms that I think DPREView got wrong, or at least some of these are wrong, in my humble opinion. First and foremost, they said image quality was hampered by a mediocre lens. Now, I've shot with this camera a little bit when the press release, and I was there at Panasonic. I've played with it. I've seen samples from it. I don't think it's a mediocre lens. I think it's got an incredibly long zoom range, and I think it performs pretty darn well for a lens with that zoom range, for an all-in-one ultra zoom. So I'm not exactly sure where they're coming off calling it mediocre, because I think you'd be hard-pressed to find another lens, either on an interchangeable lens camera, whether mirrorless or DSLR, or anything out there that has this zoom range that performs better across the range. I think Panasonic's done a good job. And I think that if you look at image samples and look at tests, it bears out my opinion on this, as opposed to what DPREView is saying. Heavy noise reduction in JPEGs. I didn't find the JPEGs to be that bad when I looked at them. And the fact of the matter is, this thing shoots RAW. So to me, that's kind of it's almost like you're looking for a criticism to throw in there. I don't know too many people that shoot solely JPEG anymore. And you can turn down or off the noise reduction, so why wouldn't you do that? Yellows have a greenish tint, which affects skin tones. This was another criticism. And, Panasonic has had more of a yellowy color to their images. But again, if you're shooting RAW, not a big deal. You can set up your custom presets. I believe you can even dial it in camera for the color you want. So again, I guess it seemed kind of nitpicky to me that you're criticizing a out of camera default setting that can be easily changed in post-processing. So, I guess if you're, again, looking for a criticism, you could call that a criticism. To me, kind of minor, kind of not something I would consider a criticism of what I think is a really good camera. Substantial 1.4 times crop in 4K eliminates wide angle capability and affects low light performance. I think that's a fairly reasonable crop. Compare it to 2 times crop on a lot of Micro Four Thirds. Compare it to the 1.7, 1.8 crop of the 5D Mark IV, which is a very expensive full frame camera that doesn't give you full frame 4K and has a terrible codec and 4K video capabilities. So again, seems kind of nitpicky. Seems to be, in comparison to what else is out there, a rather not, I think they're grasping at straws here to find some criticisms. Basic auto ISO functionality. Okay, I'll give you that one. Not a problem for me. I don't tend to use auto ISO a whole lot. I guess the other thing, though, is that one of the things that's really neat about the FZ2500 is it has a new algorithm, a new brain for if it's doing auto exposure, ramping up the exposure in video without it all of a sudden just going brighter. It's very, very good at that. I saw it in use. I saw the demo of it, and I was like, hey, that's neat. Again, Panasonic's bringing us some really cool new tech. So this, to me, seems kind of, again, piddly and honestly not really an issue for me. I wouldn't be using auto ISO for just about anything I was shooting on that camera. I don't really think. I don't tend to use it much anyways. I guess you could say it's valid because maybe that feature isn't as good as some other ones. But again, we're talking about a very, very richly featured camera here, a very feature-packed, probably the best bang for your buck out there if you want to shoot really pro video for the dollar. On the bulky side, again, ultra zoom that delivers more than 10,000. Like, I mean, if you're looking for this camera for video, which a lot of people are going to be, because if you're not shooting video, I don't know why you'd really go for this one, because it's an amazing video camera. Show me another camera out there that can do what the FZ2500 can do at this size. And that to me makes this a silly comment about the bulky side. LCD cannot fully rotate when left side I/O ports are in use. It's happening right now with my Lumix G85. Show me a camera out there that you can fully rotate the LCD and none of the ports block it. I mean, you can't. These things have to go somewhere. And again, it seems kind of a, if there was another camera out there, if every other camera out there did this properly or did that okay, and this was only a problem with the FZ2500, I'd be like, okay, good point. But nothing else out there does it better that I'm aware of. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments below. But again, nitpicky point that's kind of, easy to blow a hole in. Battery life could be better. Well, battery life could be better on any camera. Panasonics in general have best-in-class battery life. I have yet to get a Panasonic camera where I didn't think the battery life was as good or better than anything else in its class. And again, same with the FZ2500. Again, what are you comparing it to? Where are you drawing this negative from? I think you're grasping at straws, and I think it's not really a factual criticism. I think the FZ2500 has very good battery life for what it offers. 4K drains battery life pretty hard on any camera. And 4K with the ability that you've got in the FZ2500, it may draw it down faster. But again, what can compete with it out there that does better? It's my question. No support for USB charging. Okay, that may be one of the valid criticisms. Maybe they didn't get that one wrong. Is it an issue, problem for me? No. Wouldn't stop me from buying that camera at all. Would I even name it in my review as a criticism? Nope. Yeah, maybe it would have been nice to have it, but again, have a look at the features of this thing. The FZ2500 is, like I said, there's nothing out there that can touch it for the price for how fully featured that camera is. The GH5, yeah, probably. But again, you're going to spend more money by the time you buy the GH5 and put a comparable lens on it. You got an incredible ultra zoom lens on the FZ2500. All in one package, sealed. You're not going to run into dust issues, with incredible video abilities. So, I think, for the price, I challenge anyone to show me a camera that can do better, because I don't think there is one. So, anyways, what do you guys think? Do you think the criticisms of the FZ2500 were valid that DPREVIEW pointed out? Or are you leaning towards what I'm saying, that I think they were, maybe grasping at straws to have some criticisms? Because typically in a good review, you want to have a few criticisms, but I don't know. If the camera's really that good, do you need to really be grasping to make them up? I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. What do you think of the FZ2500? What do you think of DPREVIEW's criticisms? Let's discuss it. Maybe I'm way off base. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Stay tuned. We'll be back soon here at artoftheimage.com.